So, Kate, when did you hear about your illness and where were you?
Well, yes, I was a captain at the time with the Queen's Royal Lancers based in Catterick, North Yorkshire, and I actually deployed to Afghanistan. So I was away from home, and upon deployment, or just before actually, I thought, well, I've got a bit of a toothache, maybe I should sort out a filling before I deploy to make sure everything's sorted out. So I just thought it's a filling. That got done and deployed, and sort of thought hadn't really solved the problem. So before getting deep into the tour, I saw the dentist whilst in Bastion in Afghan, and just said, oh, this filling hasn't really been sorted, I've still got a bit of a pain. And it went from there really. They tried a root canal. We then got into the operational tour, doing my job. I was in command of 110 soldiers at the time, and just got on with it. I was taking more and more painkillers, didn't really sleep a night, thought people were losing limbs, and I'd just eaten too many sweets, and the pain got worse. But completed the 6-month tour, no one could really sort it out. And then in the end, long story short, after about 9-10 months, I went to a dentist and said, I can't really put up with this pain any longer. They sorted out an x-ray finally after about a year, and the x-ray said maybe you've got a little dental cyst that needs removing, you need some day surgery. Oh, no problem. Got that done, and again, then I just back to work, had a phone call. So about a year after the initial pain, you need to come back and have a scan. I said, oh no, I'm in the middle of my job, I'm in Catterick, you want me to come back to Petersburg? It's a long way. Didn't think anything of it, but went back to the hospital, rushing as normal, travelling from Catterick, and they told me that that dental cyst was in fact a tumour that had eaten its way through my jaw, and I needed chemo and surgery to remove my jaw, and that was a bit of a hammer blow really. So as I say, I was captain in the army with soldiers to look after, and that was the news.
Kate, how did you react when you got that news?
But I was in the hospital. I'd travelled about 4 hours. I just thought I was getting a routine scan. So I guess I was in shock. There were no tears or anything. I was just still registering the facts and not thinking it was real. But I suppose, like with any challenge in front of me, I thought, right, then how are we going to do this? And there were no real negative thoughts, I don't think. It was just, how am I going to tackle this one?
So, just going back to your military career, had you always wanted to be in the military? Because obviously this illness would probably mean the end of your career.
Yeah. Well, no is the answer. So I was brought up on the farm, and I guess I loved being out and about with my dad on the farm, being active, playing lots of sports. And I threatened to leave school at 16 and work on the farm, and my parents said, no, go and get an education first. And then I went to a sort of school careers evening, and there was a stand all about the army. And I said, right, I want to do that. And they actually sponsored me through university. So it enabled me to be outside, be active, do the things I like to do, and sort of pursue that career. So.
Kate, what surgery did they do?
So I'm sure you can see they cut ear to ear and removed my whole lower jaw, and then at the same time removed my left fibula, the bone in my leg, and they took 20 centimetres out, and that became my new jaw along with a titanium plate.
What was that first experience like with on-course formation?
That was fairly new up, Anne, and you were lovely, and that was a big part of it actually, because you put me at ease. And it was actually, I think it was a 2-dayer at Sanford Springs, and Ben was there, so Ben welcomed us, but I know I really didn't want to, I was told I wasn't going to be sharing a room with anybody, and I, as I say, I had a wig on and things and had a Hickman line and didn't want to sort of be sharing a room with anybody, but I ended up to be, and that worried me. But by the time I got on the range with Di Llewellyn, saying that I could hit a ball, and I was in the bar later with people that had also sort of careers were being lost in the army, and a bit of banter again. There were no nerves, and I felt totally at ease and thought this is the right place to be.
So Kate, you were recently in the GB team in the Simpson Cup.
Yeah.
So for you, how did that feel playing competitive golf? Is that something you enjoy?
Oh, I love it. I love being part of a team. I think that's what I miss and kind of relish from the army and army sports days. So that's amazing. Yeah, it was a great opportunity to be part of it, and we were treated amazingly, and yeah, it was just a fabulous experience.
And actually, you were the first woman to play in the GB team a few years ago, is that right?
Yeah, and I got to do it at St Andrews, which was so special. It's the home of golf, as we know, and I likened it to sort of like when you go skiing and après and just all the pubs and restaurants have skis leaning up against them, and this place had golf clubs everywhere. It was amazing to be part of, yeah.
So we're sitting here now and you're captain of the Springs Golf Club. So what got you here?
I never really take stock of that, but it is due to On Course Foundation. So I joined the charity as a beneficiary and became an ambassador. And then I found myself at this golf club, and I suppose through members here and their experience and making me realise that there are more things to life and not to thrash around after that white ball on the course. They taught me some good lessons. That, with the skills On Course gave me and the confidence they gave me that there is life again after serious illness, that is the sole reason why I'm sitting here, really.
Great shot.
Thank you. I suppose a big thing for me is, yes, I'm not having chemotherapy anymore. I'm not having physical surgery right now, but it all still lives on. I still don't have any teeth. I still had fertility problems, and I've still got surgery pending to one day get some teeth. It all still has an effect on me, and most of the time I'm full of positivity and I love life, but there are just days sometimes where something might go wrong, like on the farm, or you might get a flat tire or something, and that compounds other things. And suddenly the world's against you. I don't have any teeth, I've got scars all over me, I can't have my own children, and it's not fair. And all those feelings come flooding in quite quickly. So being able to continually sort of be in touch with On Course Foundation and have people to some extent in the same boat is definitely still needed, even though I was diagnosed quite a few years ago now. And I guess a lot of people don't understand that it still goes on and it will live with me forever.